Good afternoon and welcome back from lunch. So our first speaker today is from HP, Jeongwook Oh. I was very excited to see a demo until I realized that I'm literally the only person in this room who will not see it. Please begin.
Yeah. Hello. Good afternoon, actually. So today I'm going to talk about smart home appliances, security, and malware. And out of all those smart devices, appliances, we chose smart TV because TVs are everywhere, actually. So if you bought any TVs recently, like 3 or 4 years ago, probably the chances are that you might have smart TVs at your home. Probably you might not notice it, but the interfaces, if you look at the TV here, so it has some gadgets or gimmicks here, so you can watch photos or movies, or you can even play YouTube. So when I bought this TV like last year, actually this is not from company, this is my personal TV. I just brought it from my home. And when I just bought this TV last year, I thought that, I heard someone is hacking TV at that time, but I thought that it will be really, really difficult to hack the TV because they might be using their own OS and they have their own settings. So it's really hard to find information, right? So, but I just spent 1 or 2 weeks to prove whether I'm wrong or right. So that is how this all happened. And the thing is that the IoT thing is still in very, very early stage, but the smart TV has been around like at least 4 or 5 years. The earliest model came at least 2008 or 2009 from Samsung. And there are a lot of big players like Samsung, LG, Panasonic are there, and they have good money, good funding there, and they have money to hire a lot of security researchers there. So they have good conditions there. So if we look at the smart TV, the state of the security in smart TV, then maybe you can see what will happen with IoT. Yeah, right? The best case for IoT, because usually the IoT companies, they are very small startups, they don't have enough money, so they don't have enough funding to hire any security researchers or to pay attention to security. So smart TV is really a good starting point to look into the IoT security, actually. So the reason why I chose Samsung TV is that this TV is really, really popular, actually. It has the around 26% market share from the statistics. And the other thing is that the hacking community for this TV is really, really active. And I could gather a lot of information from Samigo web forum. And in that way, I could start from better ground. And there were also like 4 or 5 prior researches there. The first one was actually from 2012, like almost 2 years ago. It's about file retrieval vulnerability. And there were some other researches. And recently, 2014, January, there was a remote attack disclosed by the researchers from Berlin Institute of Technology Researchers, actually. And the problem they disclosed was actually they were using FFmpeg, the popular media player. And from like a 2012 model, they were using very old FFmpeg library. So they used CV 2009 something to exploit the TV. So the TV was not updated like during like 3 or 4 years. So the agenda that I have is very straightforward. I'm going to show how I can remote access the TV and how I can install malware, the malware that I created actually for demo. And I will show actual demo, and I will talk about how the Samsung or other vendors are responding all these issues. So the first part, the remote access. So So this is the TV. Then there is a one smart feature in Samsung TV. So you can actually control the TV using your phone, not the IR, but using the network actually. So if you try to pair your iPhone or Android phone, you can download the app free from the App Store. It will actually pop up the dialog box. And you should authorize the device using your physical remote controller. So in that way, it achieves some kind of security. So you need to be around the TV to gain the access to the TV. So in that way, you can actually do everything like a volume up or down, channel change, and you can launch some apps, go to some menus. And next one. So when you try to pair new device, actually it will pop up this dialog box. So if you just press allow, then you have access to the UI, full UI, that same UI as you will have with this remote controller. And actually, if you go through some menus, they maintain the access control list. Very straightforward. Host name, IP address, whether it's allowed or denied. It's a kind of firewall-like access list. And if you take the dump when you actually pair or send some command from your iPhone or Android phone, the package looks like that, and they use their own protocol. So there might be something wrong with their implementation maybe. So I just reverse engineered the binary that actually processes the package, and it has some parsing routines there, and packet parser, and it is checking the access control list there. And the thing is that if you parse the packet, it's really easy because they are using very straightforward format like length, data, and payload, and some types, and something like that. But eventually, they are using some base 64 string encoding there. And if you decode them, actually, they are using three factors for authentication. The first one is IP address, second one is MAC address, and third one is host name. So these all informations are all available if you are already in the same network, right? So all these informations are just broadcasted like constantly. And you can try all of them if you find them, because just trying all of them doesn't take that much effort. So probably if one of them are authenticated already, you can easily get into the TV. So that is the fundamental design flaw. And actually, Samsung didn't fix it like for a long time, but they finally changed the format. It's coming, they are working on it, and it is released for some models. But they have like 5,000 different models with their TV, so it takes 1 or 2 months. So the fix will come. If you go home and if you are using Samsung TV, if you see some pop-ups, whether you want to update your TV, you should update it. And so I thought that the first issue is really critical, but the next one is a little bit disturbing, right? So I thought that it's using IP address and host name, but from the implementation, actually, they were just totally ignoring IP address and host name. So you just need to guess MAC address. So it's getting more easier. But it's not enough, actually. So there is a vulnerability number 3. And if you pass MAC address with null, then actually you are always granted access to any system that has at least one remote control authorized. So if anyone just used that feature and he forgot about it like past 6 months, if you send this packet, you are just opening the door to the TV. And the next one is very interesting because this is not a fault from Samsung actually, right? So from the iPhone, iOS 7, when you try to retrieve the MAC address from your phone, actually it will be giving you same string always. So, but Samsung didn't like notice that for a long time. So, if anyone ever used an iPhone for authentication, you can just send this MAC and you are just authenticated. So, just simple protocol, and there are too many vulnerabilities. And that is what I observed here. And there is actual attack. So Smart View is a PC version of the remote controller. So from the attacker, it tries to connect to the TV, right? Then if you double click it, it will try to connect to the TV. And it will pop up this dialog box. But you can use exploit, just send one keystroke. Just you can send enter, and you can make your PC like authorized for the TV. So it sent, actually, somehow it popped up twice. You need to send twice, enter. There is a Python script is sent, and yeah, the pop-up is gone. So now from the application, it is authenticated, and you can control the volume or channel. And the PC version has some additional feature, really interesting feature. If you go to the view menu, actually you can view the TV. So you can see what the users are doing. Maybe he's using Skype or Facebook. You can read what he's doing. So it's really scary. But this is not enough for actually malware. So I need to figure out how I can install malware using this method. So there is one feature with Samsung TV. They allow any TVs to be used as a developer machine. So if they have same concept as iPhone App Store. So to log into the App Store, you need to have a Samsung account. And if you put this hard-coded account to the Samsung account login window, then you are in developer mode. And if you go to the apps menu, there are additional menus shown up here, like IP settings and start app sync menus. And you can set up your own app server. And you can put your own app, and you can make the TV to download your own app. So in that way, you can actually install your binary on the TV. Like after setting the IP address here, like your own IP, and if you press the start app sync, and there is one problem. So actually, last year at Black Hat, two researchers from ISAC partners, they talked about using ELF binaries, packaging ELF binaries in G file and passing it as a app payload. And actually, the security policy from the app installer from Samsung actually doesn't allow any inclusion of ELF binaries. So if you just pass ELF binary itself, the system triggers. And what they found is that if you zip it, then the app checker couldn't find it. So that's what they found. So I did the same thing as what they did. I just zip it and passed it, and they found it because the security violation actually triggered because they reported it to Samsung, and it is already fixed when I bought this TV. So I need to figure out to work around this fix, and I just look into some actual code, right? So it is checking whether it's chipped or not, and if it is chipped, it is opening, something like that. So it looked like really challenging, actually. And the problem is that, the thing is that actually the workaround was too simple. Actually, I just figured out, oh, just 5 minutes or something. So the thing is that when you try to install some malicious app containing ELF binaries in G file or not G file, everything will be downloaded to this temporary same folder, the hard-coded folder, temp download and mname. So you can control where your file will be dropped. And after that, you run other lab to just unzip the file. The good thing with Samsung apps, they have actually the whole APIs can access whole file system. So their like a sandbox is kind of, actually from the Samsung documentation, they never say that they have a sandbox. So they have some security but it's not sandbox. So using this API, File.Unzip API, actually you can just access the file and unzip the ELF binary anywhere on the system you want. So basically there is no security. So what they did with 2014 version of TV is just remove this API, and they can fix the problem. And this vulnerability was found by Samigo Web Forum, not me, and it's been used like again and again with like different exploits. And the other exploit that vulnerability that I used was, this one is also found by Samigo Web Forum. This one is well-known one. So when you override some ELF binary, you need to achieve persistency, just like when you are doing with Windows machine, right? So you just write registry, startup registry, or you can just drop it on startup folder. You can do same thing with the TV. So this leave Skype, so shared object file. This one will be always loaded if you check the Skype to startup application. So you just overwrite this file, and you can just put some backdoor logic here, and you just check the Skype to load every time. Then whenever the TV turns on, your backdoor will just comes up. So currently this machine, this my TV is backdoored. It has SQL shell running, FTP running, some web server, and everything there. Really scary machine actually. But the thing is that even though your machine is infected, there is no sign or no tools, no way to know whether your machine is infected. That is most scary part, because I don't think there will be any mass infection with TV. But if some government agencies, if they want to watch someone or watch someone's activity or put some packet sniffers on the network, maybe this one is really ideal place, because there is no tools, no AVs, nothing. And if you infect this machine, there is no way for just plain users, we know that this one is infected. And after I I downloaded the second app, and the update just complete. And there is one app installed, the smiley icon there. And if you just launch it, actually it will just unzip the file and override the shared object. So a lot of code, I just borrowed it from Samigo Web Forum. They have a lot of exploits available there. I could just learn from them actually. And I could write my own, and it's not that difficult. So after that, it will just launch some telnet server. You just log in, there is no password here. And it is running as a root. So you now have the root access, root privilege on the TV. So in that way, from the very, very simple, combining very, very simple vulnerabilities, and you can just own the TV. So this is, if you compare owning some Windows machine and this one, if Windows machine, the effort to owning Windows machine is 10, this one is maybe 3 or 4. It's that easy. So if I summarize the whole process, so you can use vulnerability 1, 2, 3, 4. You can use one of them, and you can just access the UI. But the thing is that actually the users can see what you are doing, and probably they don't understand what you are doing. Maybe they say, they think it's glitch, but I don't know. But this is just for demo. And you can enable developer mode and try to install the dropper app. It will trigger security violation, but still the ELF will be on the system, the guessable location. And ELF binary is loaded, downloaded. And if you run the second app, it will actually use that downloaded file and unzip it, and it will install some payload. And after that, it will override Skype module to achieve persistency. So the last question I have is that will it be possible to create some malware just looks like a normal Windows malware, like some Gbots or there are a lot of malwares, right? Credential theft or something like that. Actually, I worked on some AM industry, so I know that. And process hooking. Probably if you do a lot of Windows thing, you know that it is really, really easy to hook into the Windows system calls, anything. There are too many ways. And with Linux, it's really easy too. So there is a ptrace feature that is used for debugging. And actually using this feature, you can actually make a program stop, and during the stop, you can just modify the binary, and you can resume the whole process. And you can make the thread to load your own shared library. So it's the same as Windows. And CNC communication, it's that simple, right? Just socket programming, it's the same. And credential theft, there are multiple ways. Just like Windows, maybe you can do MITM. I will demo that. And you can inject some module to some system process, and you can hook some API like a SAND or something like that. That is all possible. So this is a demo. So the first one is the MITM actually. So I will use the browser. Yeah, there are too many menus. Yeah, it doesn't. It's too far. So they have their own web browser. It is based on the WebKit. So yeah, I wanted to use Bank of America example, but I don't want to my credentials shown here. So I will use Facebook with a fake account. So new tab. Yeah. So there is a Facebook. So looks like yeah. Yeah, I just used the burp. Let me see. I can make a duplicate. Yeah, burp soup. And actually, I assume that you already changed resolve.conf from this system because you own the system. Or maybe you can use remote controller feature to change the DNS server. So it's just using attacker's DNS server. So if you just try to, this is too simple, so actually. So if you try to connect to Facebook, the problem is that it's using HTTPS. And let me see. Yeah, actually, I need to change something. So if you see this terminal, so if you are an attacker, you are just connecting to TV, just like a DNS changer from Windows. So you are, oh, sorry, I'm not a good attacker, so I just forgot. So just like a DNS changer from Windows, you can just change this one. 1, 2, 3. This one is attacker's IP. 37. So if you try, oh, actually you can use mouse with TV. Actually, they have USB port and you can use it, but I didn't. Yeah, this demo is the most difficult one actually, so because I have 2 more demos, so hopefully I can finish in time. So Facebook. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, I will go here. So you use HTTPS, Facebook. Yeah. So from the birth, even though it's using HTTPS, the browser doesn't complain about the certificate. This one is another vulnerability from Samsung, but they fixed it in April. Actually, I inquired them, and this same vulnerability was reported from a paper like almost 2 years ago. So it took some time for them, but. And you just put your email.
You have 5 minutes left, just so you know.
5 minutes? Yeah. It's enough. Yeah. And yeah, this account is not enabled. So let me see. Password. Okay. And password. Q. Okay. Q. H. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Try to log in. Oh, I need to press it. Yeah, try to log in, and we have more traffic there. But there is actually, if you try to do same thing with your Windows machine, the Chrome will complain about the fake certificate, and it will never allow you to connect to this fake server. And IE will have show some advanced option, and if you just really sure, you can click it and you can connect to that. But they show some warnings. But here, it doesn't show anything. Like it shows this like lock icon, and it looks like they have no use case of the lock icon, right? So because even when it is it is connecting to the broken web server, it is showing the log is locked. So it means that there is no case where the log is unlocked in the icon actually. So anyway, so if you try to log. Get the information. So from here, yeah, here the email and pass. So just like same concept as Windows, you can just intercept the traffic, and I know there are some malwares that are doing the same thing, DNS changer or something like that. And the next demo is using hooking into API to grab the credentials. So this one is much simple. So some TV, VB, and so I can just briefly explain the code. So there is a code around here, and protect here. Actually, it is just patching on API, SSL, Open SSL API, and it just patches it, and it will just reroute the execution to your own hooking function. The concept is almost just the same as Windows. Like I'm hooking SSL write hook, SSL write API, and every execution from this API will be coming to this function. And there are some something like those things. They are just same concept as detours, just like replacing the instructions and putting your own and something like that. And this function is actually dumping all those information. So I just run, let me see, install. So this script is just uploading this shared object to the server, the TV, and it will hook the API. So it just succeeded. And the next one I will show is the hooking Samsung account. And yeah, it's almost done. So there is picture, you log in, network, not here, smart feature. Yeah, Samsung account, and log in. So let me see, I will show you. From the TV, it will save yeah, this file. So it has some logs there, but if you try to log in.
Yeah, well, I think in the interest of time, we're going to have to cut this off.
Yeah, so this is the last one actually. So it shows all those traffic there. And yeah, here you can see that the username and password. I just used some hard-coded account, but if you used your own account, it could be just hooked like that. And the last demo is showing entertaining the victim. So this is real short, just 1 minute actually. So this one is just patching.
Well, maybe you can supply the details to people who are interested afterwards.
So everything, this TV is actually running on X Windows. So you can connect it. If you're kind of old school, you know the X Windows, right? So it has some authentication. It's opening 6,000 port, and actually you can run apps on your machine and display everything on the TV or the X Windows. But it has some authentication. I'm just patching the X binary dynamically to disable the authentication. And the last one, I can entertain the victim. So yeah, just like that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you.